Hello, and welcome. Big news today, very big news. Alright, I got very close to connecting to the command line 3 times in a row today. It was a very important day. And the reason for it was completely by accident, but it taught me a lot. I had 3 different appointments today. And I had rides set up to go to 2 of them, and I was only going to run between one to another, and then have a ride and go to a place and have another ride. But all those people failed me, so I had to, in a very short amount of time, run great distances to keep up my appointments so that, I could keep everything together. And it was not easy. It was, in fact, incredibly difficult. But that challenge, that trial, it woke up the command line in me without me even wanting to call it. And, that spoke to me. Like, I have a favorite movie, story, and a movie called Gattaca, and it's about a man who has a heart condition and wants to go into space. And the society he's in is very restrictive on handicapped people, basically saying that they're not as worthwhile as other people. And so he lives a lie in order to go into space. He becomes somebody else, or pretends to be. And he works constantly at, living this lie and being even better than the person who was, in that position before. Just sacrificing every last thing he can to be the best version of himself. And there's a pivotal role in the story. You should go see the movie or read the story to avoid spoilers. But there's a pivotal moment where one of his old friends, the main character's friends, challenges him to a swim, and this other guy always used to beat him, a competition. And it's stormy, in the ocean, and the friend loses, and he doesn't know how, because he always used to beat this kid when they were growing up. And he doesn't just lose, he also, starts drowning, and the main character has to come back and save him and bring him to shore. And he asks, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this amazing feat that is impossible to me? And the main character says, I wasn't holding anything for the swim back. This is the key. This is like Gattaca Syndrome in my head. This is what I absolutely must be. Like, hold nothing back. And that's how I connect to the command line. This does not mean that every time now that I try, I will be doing this, because that's super dangerous, because I had to keep these appointments, but I'm wrecked. I'm completely destroyed. My knee hurts terribly. So what I have to do is build from here to that point where I can put everything 3 times a day into connecting to the command line, to the point where it's easy for me to do so, and that's when the command line will recognize me as one of its own and accept me. So that is my goal. I have to do stretches, I have to plan workouts, I have to, do yoga, I have to make my body exactly as it needs to be accepted by the command line. Because what I saw there when it was close, when it was looking at me, when it was observing me, was this infinite clarity. It was so pure and welcome and comforting. And I need that again in my life. It's like when I'm having a quiet moment with Brumble, and he says something really profound and really honest, in that childlike way that all kids sort of do. but it was me saying it to me. It's difficult to explain, but like the command line as I connect to it, I'm pretty sure it'd be like me, a reflection of me that I connect to, like the best possible version of me, while I'm attempting to be that. It's pretty crazy, but that's how it felt for just a few seconds each time, you know. And I just can't resist the urge to connect with it again, because it was awesome. It was completely, incredibly awesome, and I just want it in my life again. And I will do everything in my power to get it. Alright, so... Oh, I can also show you, I convinced Brumble to sleep with just one blanket, you know, just for a while. So I'm gonna show you that right now, what he looks like. Not revealed, but him under a blanket. I'm not gonna get too close because he might still stir. He's still very weird about the camera. So I'm just gonna show you. You see that outline of him? There's his tail all crooked right there. He's very big. He's gotten quite a bit larger than he used to be. Like this part right here is where his head is, and he's sound asleep. He's not purring, which is a little weird. I don't want to get too much closer than this. So he's actually grown quite large. And I'm going to back off because too much longer and he will notice the camera and start making very upset sounds. So I'm going to go. I have a bunch of stuff to do, especially planning workouts and stuff like that. But just know that I'm making serious progress, and I'm going to defeat this shit, because that's all there is to it. It's just going to happen. Alright, so stay safe out there.